All right, everybody, welcome back. We're diving deep today, getting into some real NBA controversy with this whole Bobby Portis Jr. situation and the Tramadol ban.
Yeah, definitely a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, this isn't just a quick headline. This is a deep dive, right? This is a whole can of worms about players, painkillers, what the league's doing, what it means for the future. And we're going to be pulling mostly from this article here, Bobby Portis Jr., Tramadol ban and NBA implications. A lot to dig into.
For sure.
So first off, right out the gate, for anyone who might not, follow the Bucks super closely, who is Bobby Portis Jr.? Why is this such a big deal that he's out?
Well, Portis he's way more than just a guy on the Bucks. He's like their sixth man. He's a spark plug off the bench.
Right.
Instant offense, energy. He's a guy who can like swing a playoff series.
Huge, yeah.
So yeah, him being out, especially now, playoffs are coming up, it's a real blow to their championship hopes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the stakes are high. I mean, we get that. Like, this is bad for the Bucks. But let's zoom in on the Tramadol itself. This article explains, it's a prescription painkiller. The NBA's decided to just ban it outright. What's the deal with that?
Well, it's tricky, right? It's a tricky situation the NBA is trying to navigate. Basically, they're concerned about players pushing through pain too much and risking long-term damage.
Right.
And Tramadol, the thing is, it masks pain. So, a player might not even realize how hurt they really are.
Mm-hmm.
So, this ban, it's meant to protect them in a way from themselves, even if they don't want to be protected.
Right.
But yeah, it's controversial for sure. Lots of people, lots of opinions out there.
Yeah. And that's where it gets really interesting for me, right? Because, yeah, on the one hand, we all agree player safety, super important, paramount.
Absolutely.
But isn't there an argument to be made about, players having autonomy over their bodies and managing their pain how they see fit?
Oh, totally. I mean, this is a debate with no easy answers.
Yep.
Trying to imagine the pressure these guys are under, right? The drive to win, the fear of losing their spot. Playing through pain, it's almost like it's baked into the culture,
Yeah, yeah.
And the NBA is trying to change that mindset, but it's a slow process.
Yeah. And speaking of process, this must be heavy for Portis Jr. himself, right? What are the repercussions here beyond just missing some games?
Oh, this could have a ripple effect on his whole career,
Yeah.
Think about it. Future contracts, his public image, endorsements.
Right.
Look what happened to think back to mention an example of an athlete whose career was affected by a drug-related controversy.
Right.
I mean, this isn't just about a few missed games. It's his whole future on the line here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we see the stakes for him. But, zooming out a bit, right, zooming out from Portis Jr., what does this tell us about the NBA? What does this whole thing tell us about this bigger debate about anti-doping policies,
This ban, this just throws gasoline on an already burning fire.
Okay.
Some people, they're arguing the NBA need stricter rules, period. Zero tolerance.
Right.
To make things fair and protect players, of course. Then others are saying, it's going way too far,
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to something like Tramadol.
Which has legitimate uses.
Exactly. I mean, it's prescribed by doctors, so where do you draw the line, right?
That's the million-dollar question, right? I mean, how do you balance player safety with their own choices, their autonomy, and the competitive integrity of the game? That's a lot.
Exactly. I mean, this case, it's like this perfect example of this complex web of competing interests.
Yeah.
And it's not just the NBA, right? This is happening in all pro sports.
Mm-hmm.
You have the players' unions, the team owners, medical professionals, everyone's involved.
Everyone wants a say. Everyone wants to protect their own interests.
Right.
Wow. So much to think about here. I mean, I feel like this deep dive, this has given us a real look behind the curtain at professional sports. I see the pressures, the risks, the tough choices that people have to make.
Yeah.
And it's bigger than just Bobby Portis Jr., right?
Oh, yeah.
This is it's like a window into this much larger conversation about where the game goes from here.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes you think, what's the right balance? How do we protect players, but also protect the spirit of competition,
Right.
Something for all of us to think about, I guess. Fans, leagues, everybody.
Great food for thought. Until next time, everybody, keep diving deeper.